Guys, today I am so excited to finally get to be showing you how we renovated our laundry room on an extreme budget. Now, I've worked up to this video for several weeks showing you our bathroom renovation and then the barn doors that we built in the master bedroom for the master closet and the master bathroom. And then we went into the sliding barn door style modern glass door for the laundry room. And I had promised that the laundry room renovation was going to be the next episode, but then some very exciting things happened. And so I was able to let you know in advance that we were going to have to push this episode out a little ways. So as I'm recording this and I'm working on this, you probably already know by this point that we got our homestead property, and so that was why this video had to be pushed out a little ways. But I'm in the middle of editing this. This is Tuesday, February 4th. And so I'm trying to get this video edited and ready to go. But the reason why I had to push it out is because we are closing on our homestead property on this Friday. So by the time you actually see this video, you'll already know all of these things, but I needed to go ahead and get this video ready to go so that once we have let you guys in on everything that has to do with the homestead, and there's so much more coming, I can promise you that. I cannot wait. You guys are going to be so excited to see all of the things. So I can't wait to share all of that. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this laundry room renovation. First, I want to start by recapping that list of wants that I included in the previous video over the laundry room door. So if you didn't see that video, I'm going to link it right up here. But I also want to take a blast from the past, insert it right here so that we can go over that list of, I called it 9 things in that video, but technically it was 10 things because I grouped the built-in step stool as one item with the shelving. So technically the shelving and the step stool to get to those upper shelves are 2 different items. So technically you could say there were 10 wants in this laundry room. Really there were 11, but I'll discuss that towards the end of this video, so make sure you stick around and watch that. But here we go. Here's the blast from the past so that you can see what I'm talking about. I want to explain the thought process behind this renovation so that if you struggle in any of these areas, hopefully this will give you some ideas or inspiration so that you can tackle your laundry room makeover on a budget. So here were my must-haves for the laundry space. Number 1, eliminate clutter. Number 2, clear the walkthrough. Number 3, a place for hanging clothes, but not in the walkway. Number 4, but probably most importantly, storage. Number 5, shelving. But I wanted a built-in step stool so that I could access the highest shelves without having to constantly be running around hunting the step stool down. Number 6 is a countertop for folding clothes. 7, a stylish way to display laundry supplies. 8, a place for the laundry hamper that isn't in the way. And number 9, a place for Rocky's food bowl. And let me also tell you, the real reason for the laundry room makeover was so that we could try to gain some additional storage space. This was because we took out an entire wall in the kitchen, or a half a wall, I should say, and we lost 2 very large upper cabinets. And so that sent us on a path of trying to reclaim storage space all throughout the house so that we could shift everything around. So I know that sounds like a very tall order for such a small space. By the way, I measured our laundry room. In the widest area, it is 6.5 feet wide. And from the garage door to the laundry room door, so the length is 8.5 foot long. So it's not a big space. Hey guys, I want to drop in this quick little clip. There's a reason why I wanted to show you these measurements from our existing laundry room because you probably already know by now, but we bought a homestead on Friday of last week. So the reason why these laundry room measurements were so important to me was because I wanted to show you the measurements of our new space and how we're kind of thinking about reconfiguring it. We have no idea yet how we're going to relay out this bathroom and laundry room situation. We're actually counting on my dad to draw something up for us. So, real quick, I want to show you this video clip that I sent to my dad our first day in the home, where I was telling him the measurements and everything. So just remember that as I'm speaking, I'm actually speaking to him, but I really do want to hear your feedback as well. So let me show you this, and then we'll get back to our current laundry room renovation. Okay, so if we measure just from the door frame to the wall, then that is 5'6", okay? So if we decided to just make the laundry room from here to there, 5'6", but if we decided to like take the walls down and reconfigure everything and we built the wall out to here, then that's gonna be 9'5". So 9 foot, 5 inches if we came out to here and went all the way down. And so we're open to taking these walls down and reconfiguring the whole space as long as we don't have to move plumbing. So we'd love to hear your thoughts on how we could do that. I would really like to make my shower to where it can be a doorless walk-in shower, like your upstairs shower and your guest bathroom shower, like those where it's long and narrow, so that I don't have to have a shower door, if that makes sense. And of course, since this is our main bathroom, I'd like a larger vanity to be able to keep my makeup and stuff. And then since this will be our only shower, we're thinking about having like our closet, our clothing storage actually in the laundry room, maybe, so that we don't have to take clothes back up and down when we have to have them down here to wash and down here to shower anyway. So that's why I was kind of thinking about just bumping it out to here and then reconfiguring all of that space. So we're open to whatever you think. Just let me know if you need other measurements. Now let's talk about these before pictures from the laundry room, and you can see here why there was such an issue. And we always had clutter just piling up on top of the washing machine and dryer, because that was just the easiest dumping ground as everybody came in from the garage. Now let's recap that want list so that I can show you why I needed all of these things. So first of all, you can see the clutter. We definitely needed to eliminate that. You can also see here that our hanging clothes were right in the walkway. So obviously we needed to clear the walk-through, but then we also needed a place for the hanging clothes. And then, of course, storage. I did want some shelving, and I knew you see my step stool down here. I was constantly having to go find the step stool and bring it in so that I could reach those upper cabinets. And I knew that I wanted to stack the washer and dryer so that any cabinetry that I had, I could actually reach better than what I could here. Because as you can see, the washer and dryer protruding out so far made it difficult to reach those cabinets in the back, which is why everything wound up cluttered on top of the machines. So that was why I drew out what I had in mind. And then when I showed Art my drawing, then he could kind of see the vision of where I was going with that. Okay, I mentioned to you about the drawing that I drew out to show Art what I had in mind for the laundry room. Well, it's been a couple of years now, so I don't still have that drawing, but I thought I could go ahead and draw something similar to kind of show you what I drew for him originally. So like this is the inset part, right? If you're looking at the washer and dryer, right? That's the, I don't remember now the measurement, but anyway. And then this is, we'll just say this is the wall. This is actually where the water heater is, but you access it from the garage, right? So anyway, this is the opening part where the washer and dryer sat back here, right? So my idea, these proportion, this is not drawn in the right proportion, obviously. That is so bad. Oh my goodness. I am not an artist. My mom is an artist, and a couple of my sons are artists, but it skipped me. So anyway, this is really bad proportion. But okay, so I knew I wanted like this cabinetry thing, okay? And I knew that I wanted like a laundry hamper. You guys you guys understand where I'm going with that? We'll just say there's wheels on this, okay? And then over here, wow, this is so bad. This is such a bad drawing. We'll just say, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. This is supposed to be stairs with a food bowl in it for the dog. Okay, so that's supposed to be. So this is similar to what I drew for him, but washer and dryer stacked, a cabinetry for folding the laundry, and then I wanted some shelves up above, but I wanted to be able to access those shelves, so that's why I wanted steps built in. And then I also wanted the dog food dish built in as well. And then I also needed space for hanging clothes. So I had imagined that I could hang the clothes somewhere up in here, right? So, oh, and this is the laundry hamper. I don't remember if I said that. So, let me show you what we came up with. And of course, like I said, Art didn't think I was going to be able to get that list of wants in this small space until I drew it out. Then he was like, okay, all right, I see where you're going with that. Now we are finally to the fun part. This was the decorating and getting to pick out my decor and everything. So first of all, I found this tile at Home Depot, and it's a pill and stick product. And I chose this because it was much cheaper and a whole heck of a lot easier than actually demoing the ceramic tile that was there to begin with. And I was able to just piece in the pill and sticks, as I had Art move the machines in and out of my way so that I could paint and put down flooring and everything. You'll kind of see that I always had one machine hooked up at all times so that I could still do my laundry while I was doing this renovation. I think I only ever had the machines down for maybe a weekend, and that was it. But I think they were pretty much up, maybe other than about 24 hours. But anyway, so I want to show you, you can see the original tile, very bland, just a beige color. It's the same tile we still have in our kitchen now. You can see also these two colors that I chose for the paint colors. Of course, you've already seen these colors in the bathroom and in our office makeover and everything. But the colors we went with were Downtown Gray and Intellectual, and those are Behr products from Home Depot. The original color that you see on the walls, that is called Faint Maple, and that's a Valspar product. That is the color that I painted the entire house back in 2013. Another thing to mention is that we did have two spare doors. So one way that we paid for part of this renovation was by selling the bases that were underneath my washer and dryer originally. Those, I think we sold those for 50 bucks each. So we made $100 there. I think we sold the doors for $50 each too. So I think we made about $200 all in all. Plus we sold those upper kitchen cabinets. I think we might have made about $400 or $500 between all of that actually. So anyway, that paid for parts of some of these renovations. So always keep that in mind when you're doing reno. Anything that you can salvage and sell, secondhand, people are always looking for a bargain, and it's a great way to cut some of your costs for when you're renovating yourself. Okay, one more thing to point out here is this horrible clothing rack. I don't know what I was thinking with that. Well, I know what I was thinking. It was the only place at the time that I could put a clothing rack, but it was so annoying coming in this garage door and always being hit in the face with clothing or having to duck underneath the clothes whenever I was leaving for work in the morning. And then you can see a bit of the door over here to our right. That was the door as you come into the laundry room. So those doors opened in opposite directions of one another. It was just caused so much congestion in that area, especially when that rack was usually full of clothing. So anyway, you can just see why we desperately needed to make over this space. Okay, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this thing. You can see once we started deconstructing everything, you can see up here where we had to take down those open-faced cabinets. I wish I'd taken more pictures of that back then, but anyway, you can see where those were and how badly it kind of damaged the wall. So we had two options here. We could have gone and bought more drywall and completely fixed that. We were trying to do this on a budget though. So instead of doing that, we just kept sanding and trying to patch and fill in where it tore up the wall. It was not going very smoothly because it wasn't very smooth. So you can see I have some of these panels left over from back when I had my craft store. And I started thinking, okay, I'm going to make this kind of like a focal piece, like a art wall. What do you call that? A feature wall. There we go. So I thought I'll make kind of a feature wall in here. So I started laying these out, trying to figure that out. Then I went and got Elijah and had him hold these up for me so I could see what it would look like. And then I just got busy, kind of started piecing these together, and then I framed them out with some 1x4s, and I really liked the look. And the whole time I was doing this, I never told Art what I was doing. So when he came back, he was kind of shocked at what I had done with the laundry room, but he really liked it as well. And then let's get into this whole stair step thing and what this is all about. Okay, right here I've got a confession to make. This is actually later on in the process, but I'm inserting it right here because I did not get a good photo of this back when we first were constructing this little casing and everything. So I want to show this to you. What you are going to notice though is that my washer and dryer have suddenly become white, and that's because those old gray machines, I had had those for years, and it wasn't a month after we completed this renovation that those machines completely gave out on me. And my appliance guy said that they were no good anymore. He had serviced them for many years for me, and he said that was it. They were done for. So I had to go get new machines. I did not take really good pictures of this part back in the beginning when Art had to take this all apart. I said, ooh, let me jump in there and get some photos real quick. So anyway, this kind of shows you, this was kind of a little bit of a guessing game as I was building this out, because I wasn't wanting to drill into the ceramic tiles or anything. I drilled into the wall, of course, because that's easy to fix. I didn't want to drill into the ceramic in case we ever moved, which now we are, and if anyone else wanted to take this completely apart and put it back to the way that it was, I didn't want to have holes in the floor. So I just built up with 2x4s and 1x4s and stuff and kind of built this frame. I think Art got the frame started, maybe. I can't remember now. And then I took it from there. But the reason why we had to do a frame was to hide. You can see here that the dryer vent is over here. That's because that's where the dryer was. So the washing machine was on the left, the dryer was on the right. So when we stacked them, of course, the dryer vent is still showing. So we had to figure out a way to hide that dryer vent. So that's when we decided to kind of build a casing around it, but also in a way that it makes it easy access to get to it if we need to, which we did need to just a month later. And so it was easy to just unscrew those front facing panels and take them apart and replace our machines and then put it all back together. So that was easy enough. So anyway, so that is why I'm showing you this now, but let me get back into how I built the steps from this point. Okay, so now you're going to see how I originally started building these stairs. Now, there's a couple of things to note about this. Number one, remember, I did want stairs so that I could reach upper shelving. Number two, I needed storage, remember? So, because remember those doors that we sold? Remember, we had 2 leftover doors because what we did was Aiden and Elijah's bedroom doors were a little scratched up from having dogs in their bedrooms, you know, dogs trying to scratch to get out and stuff. So anyway, when we took down the 2 doors that were in my bedroom for the master closet and the master bathroom, when we built those barn doors for in there, we had those 2 doors left over. Well, they were the exact same size doors that were on the boys' bedrooms. So those doors were in much better shape. So we painted those and put those on the boys' rooms. And then we took the older or the more scratched up doors and sold those. And so that is how we made a little bit of money. That's how we refurbished items and everything. So when we sold those doors, the people that we sold the doors to did not need the hinges. So we had the hinges left over. So I used those door hinges, I spray painted them black, and I created hinged steps right here so that I could create some additional storage for my cleaning supplies right here in the laundry room. And truth be told, I actually love this because Elijah is constantly using my laundry beads, and I think he forgets that I have storage in there. And so every time I go to do laundry, I'm out of laundry beads. So I have been hiding some in there. So now I still have laundry beads. I'm going to start charging that kid if he doesn't start buying his own or something. Anyway, I'm just kidding. But so you can see here, though, that we made 2 main steps, right? And then we needed this upper piece to be a little bit wider access so that if there were some reason that we needed to get back there, we wouldn't have to take apart the entire thing, right? And then the bottom one, I left it like this so that Art could create me something, because at this time, this was where I knew I wanted to create a dog bowl station here for Rocky, but wasn't quite sure yet how I wanted to do that. So I waited until the next weekend when Art was there to help me figure this part out. Now let's talk about my clothing rack. I knew I wanted to use the industrial pipe like I had used in the kitchen and in the bathroom renovation, and we did have some left over. So that was what Art used to build this for me. I told him that I wanted it hanging from the ceiling. We thought about having it on the side of the wall and protruding out If you've seen the one in my parents' laundry room, that's what they wound up doing with theirs because their ceilings are so high. So they had to do theirs that way. But I wanted mine coming down from the ceiling. Anyway, Art kind of put it up there like that for that moment, but this was not its final resting place. So it did come down and get rearranged at some point. But let me just show you that this was the beginning until I got that wall situation taken care of and pieced together. Okay, a couple more things to point out here. You can see where we did replace our light fixture in there. This is one that I got on Amazon for like $32.99 or something like that. So I will link that in the description. You can also see down at the bottom where Art had found a piece of wood and cut a circle. He just used Rocky's food dish as the template for that. And so he cut a circle there so that we could just plop the food bowl right down in there. And then, of course, my steps are hinged so that I can have storage in there. And then our laundry hamper is a two-sided sorter, and it has hinged lids and it's on wheels, so it rolls back and forth. And then last but not least, before we put up the, or well, after we put up the shelving, something just still felt like it was incomplete in there. And I had originally had like brooms and dustpans and mops and things like that hanging up in here, but it was all just a mess. And so I didn't want my all of my brooms and stuff to just be just hanging on the wall like they had been before. So we contemplated cutting into this wall here and building in a cabinet in between the studs. And then once we started, mapping that out in our minds and everything, we just realized that was still a lot of more work than what we really wanted to do when we still had so many other unfinished projects in the house. So we ultimately decided to just build it outside of the studs instead of trying to build it in between the studs like we wanted to, because we didn't want to have to come up with a door and all that kind of stuff. So we decided that in our future home, we would keep this idea in mind to take advantage of space in between studs for narrow spaces like this. So that is something that we will be keeping in mind for our new homestead. So if you guys like those types of projects, if you've seen some of those types of projects and you have any great ideas for us, if you've seen things on Pinterest or anything, hopefully soon we'll have that community tab feature where you can share photos with us, because I really do want to see you guys' ideas. I am all about maximizing space and saving space, creating unique storage options and things like that, utilizing like toe kicks and space in between the walls, things like that. So anything cool you guys have seen out there, please save those for me, send them to me. I would love to see them. I would love to give you a shout out if we use any of your ideas in our future designs. So definitely let me know your ideas, because we are open to them, and we're just crazy enough to try some really unique things. so anyway, so what you can see here, Art built this for me one weekend to just kind of enclose, even though there's no door on it or anything. It just allows us to keep our brooms and dustpans and jackets and all that stuff hung up, but it just feels a little bit more organized than if they were just hanging there on the wall without having a frame built around them. So keep that in mind if you are looking to get more organized and you don't really want to take on a bigger project. This is a really simple way to do it. He just used 1x4s and 2x4s and maybe a couple of 1x6s, I think, even, just to frame this thing out. And doesn't it really gives it more of a finished look, don't you think?